Cześć moi drodzy, 15 to 15 odniesień, przepraszam, do
69th episode of
Skibidi
Dafuq's
Toilet.
Skibidi
Sprawdźmy
original
sobie
series to get released.
rzeczy, które
I wanna
odnoszą się
remind you
do
guys of the
prawdziwego
coolest
życia,
jokes
do
and references
youtuberów.
to
Zapraszam,
memes,
lecimy.
movies and video games you could have missed from episode 1 to episode 68.
Zaraz
So I
sprawdzimy,
created the top
jestem
15
ciekawy, co tu
funniest
będzie.
reference-
Na pewno będzie Penguins, nie? Ten amerykański
Skibidi
youtuber.
Universe series.
Kto jeszcze,
Be sure
jakie
to
tam
watch
jeszcze
this
są
video to the
odniesienia,
end
do
and
jakich
write in
rzeczy?
the comments below.
Jak myślicie?
How many of
Zostawcie
those you
lajka, wbijajcie na Discorda i
already
lecimy.
knew and recognized?
Obejrzyjcie od
I really
początku do
want to know how
końca.
educated my audience is. Because I am sure, guys,
Przyspieszmy
you have the
troszkę
biggest
to.
brains in the universe and nothing can actually escape your attention. But even in this case, I am sure there are lots of references you never stumbled upon. So get your tea and snacks ready because
Okej,
it'll be
zobaczmy,
awesome.
ja jestem
Let's go.
ciekaw, co
In the
tu się
15th
dzieje.
place, we have the orange juice dance from the game called Fortnite.
A,
Yeah,
czyli
you
to jest
probably never
dance
heard of that one, as it's
A,
really
taniec
little known and niche.
Fortnite'a.
Just kidding. This reference got to be pretty popular amongst the fans of Skibidi Toilets, especially in the time when earlier seasons had been coming out. Those
Aha,
dancing
no
speakermen
widzicie.
became one of the fans' favorite little gags in the whole series. And I can't really blame you guys for that. This dance animation is hilarious. In the 14th place, we have the noisy celebrating
Breaking Bad, no tak, przecież zapomniałem.
appearance of
Tak,
Jesse
Breaking
Pinkman
Bad.
and Walter White characters.
Jesse
They came
Pinkman i Walter White.
to visit us straight from the Breaking Bad series. It was quite surprising to see such an unserious reference in the midst of Dafuq's arguably
A,
the
jeszcze Godzilla przecież
most
była,
serious and
nie?
thrilling
Pamiętacie
season
coś
yet.
jeszcze?
Just imagine. We're trying to solve all the intricate mysteries and plot twists Dafuq prepared for us, and meanwhile we're watching the most tragic and heartbreaking moments ever witnessed in the whole series. And then boom! That's Jesse and Mr. He
Jesse,
Goddamn
no.
Right White as the main chemist working in the Skibidi main lab. Honestly,
Chemicy w Skibidi
it
Toilet,
was
no.
simply hilarious to see.
To oni opracowali ten kwas
I think
cały.
those two were a good moment of relief for all of us, trying to keep it sane while waiting for the grand finale. Now, I really want to see Hank's head on top of one of Skibidi police toilets in the future episodes. In the 13th place, we have the iconic plungerment pose from the beginning of episode 50, as he walks slowly towards the giant vacuum
Do czego to jest porównanie, ta poza?
Skibidi urinal, spewing the billow of flame out of his open mouth. This is the reference to the cover art of the game called God of War 2, where Kratos also walks
Serio? A no rzeczywiście.
his face turned away from the camera, holding two prolonged weapons in his hands. Also, this may be the reference
Ej, nie wiedziałem,
to
że to
this
do
one
God of
God of War
War'a.
art in specific, where Kratos is slowly moving in the direction of large sun with the color of lava.
Ej,
with a
ciekawe,
bunch of
czy
enemies
tak
seen
rzeczywiście
around. Looks
jest.
quite familiar to me. And honestly, I love seeing the references to some epic or cool stuff in this series because this really adds more weight to it. In the 12th place, we have the Andrew Tate Skibidi toilet
A, Andrew Tate, no.
that can be briefly seen in episode 17.
Zapomniałem
the
o
infamous
tym.
bald head with the smirk, and which is more important,
Ale
the iconic
rzeczywiście.
black sunglasses covering half of his face. And mind that, guys, Andrew Tate Skibidi did wear glasses long before TV men with their glow appeared in the series. This dude was kinda ahead of his time here. In the 11th place, we have two little references. The first one was spotted by me in the third part of episode 67, when the Titan TV man epically appeared to confront Skibidi Scientist. Before his physical emergence, we hear the intimidating sound coming from the vortex of black haze with thunder, which is the reference to the movie Godzilla.
Naprawdę? To jest odniesienie do Godzilli? Wow, to nie wiedziałem.
And more specifically, to the scene where the monster appears in the environment full of rain and thunder, ready to shoot with the energy it gained. During that scene, we can hear almost the exact same sound, which is so freaking cool.
A rzeczywiście jest to samo,
And the
ja
second
cię.
reference standing on the same level as the Godzilla one to me is the Titan TV Man's sword that can be seen in close-up in the fourth
No,
part
to
of
jest to
episode 67.
Transformersów,
That
nie?
sword and the rune engraved on it is the reference to the Optimus Prime from the series of movies called Transformers. In the 10th place, we have episode 15, where the sign on the remote controller POV presses on to cause an explosion, says,
Baba Booey.
for
Baba
whatever
Booey.
reason, Dafuq himself has a really warm feeling towards this meme. It even appeared once more in the multiverse of Beatbox's episode
Naprawdę
2.
dwa razy
It's
się
written
to... A, rzeczywiście jest Baba
on the
Booey.
panel along with other quirky titles, such as Ball's Torture, Destroy
Ostorcze.
Obama, and Dafuq Boom, the title of the author's actual channel. In the 9th place, we have the iconic night fight between the Skibidi army and the Alliance forces, with the infected Titan Speakerman on the Skibidi side. We saw him appearing in episodes 33 and 38 to sit on top of the skyscraper, which is not only cool as heck, but also a reference to the movie called King Kong that was shot in
Naprawdę
2005.
do King Konga
In this
to
movie, the giant
ciekawe.
ape, who's similar to Godzilla in size, by the way,
Ja cię,
was
to
brought into
nie
New York to
sądziłem,
put
że
in
coś
circus,
takiego
but it
będzie.
broke free and started a chaos on New York streets. The final of this movie is happening on top of the roof, and it's a pretty memorable scene for me. I think Dafuq liked it as well. In the 8th place, we have the first appearance of Big TV Man we could see in episode 40. He had a long body, multiple appendages with the TV screen on top of each, which also produced the eerie gray light, and he was dressed in a neat black suit. Besides, he had a really weird aura around himself that was so strong that it even scared Skibidi away. Does it sound any familiar to you guys? Yeah, that's right. It's the reference to the legendary Slenderman character that was originally
Ja cię naprawdę? Ej, no kurde, do Slendera, że ten
created
TV
in the
Man?
creepypasta story
Wow.
and then had been developed into the indie horror game, which was released in 2012.
Jezu,
In the
to
seventh
pamiętam jeszcze
place,
Slendera,
we have
jak
Dafuku
Rojo pierwszy raz
himself.
to grał, ja
As
cię.
the series progresses further and further, the more complex its storyline gets. Right now, one of the most anticipated plot arcs is the connection between the White Terracotta Brother and Dafuk, the secret agent. We're trying to crack the code of the whole Dafuk's character here, and to understand if he's a friend to the Alliance or an independent entity pursuing his own selfish goals. Sometimes Dafuk intervenes in the events of the series, and sometimes he just observes what is happening, probably enjoying what he sees. And that is the reference to the image of G-Man in original Half-Life games produced by the
No akurat tutaj do Half-Life'a, no to mamy bardzo dużo odniesień, więc
Valve
tutaj
studio.
nie ma się co dziwić,
Originally, he
nie?
was also a
I
character
G-Man
sort of
z
breaking the fourth wall
Half-Life'a.
of the audience's perception. He used to appear out of nowhere and had more knowledge on the whole universe while also keeping existing inside of it. I'd say it's an awesome way to put yourself as a creator into your series. And it's also fun both for you and your audience. In the sixth place, we have our favorite speaker woman from episode 61 with her
No ale
unique
do
and
kogo
playful
ona jest
walk.
od...
This
A,
girl
no tutaj jest
caught
akurat
so
do
many
tego
people's
youtubera,
attention due
nie?
to her lighthearted attitude towards everything happening, but at the same time, she's also incredibly strong. This walk is a reference to the absolutely hilarious
A rzeczywiście, do tego Spidermana, ja
walking
cię.
scene from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 3, where Peter Parker got the meaner attitude and started acting as the drunk Hollywood star in New York streets. At least we're lucky that Speaker Woman does not try to outdance anybody or slap me in the face or something. And besides, as we're talking
Ciekawe.
about Sam Raimi, check out this thing as well. In episode 44, didn't this giant Skibidi
A,
with
tutaj
claws
jest do
remind you of anyone?
Octopusa,
This is
nie?
the reference to the
Yeah.
Dr. Octopus, or Otto Octavius from Spider-Man 2. In the fifth place, we have the remixed version of the iconic Skibidi Dop Dop Yes Yes song that was remade for episode 6 specifically.
I to jest jako, wiecie co,
It sounds like Lady Gaga's Bloody Mary song,
no.
which is the reference to the Wednesday dancing scene, where the main character was giving her gothic everything on the dance floor. It was an unserious episode with multiple key characters in it, and it made a lot of people laugh, including me. In the fourth place, we have the Penguin Zero Skibidi skin
Penguins,
appearing
yeah,
in episode
penguins.
61. Of course, this long-haired mustache guy with the glasses on it is a reference to the well-known content creator Moist Critical, who made a video on the phenomenon of Skibidi toilets on July 14th called What is Skibidi Toilet? Apparently, the attention from one of the most popular creators on YouTube flattered Dafuk, and he introduced the geeky Jesus Skibidi toilet as a form of
To było
gratitude.
niezłe
And
to.
by the way, such an obscure name is the reference too, because Penguin Zero joked several times how he was often confused with Jesus on Facebook. Also, check put this iconic scream. In the third place, we
No,
have
to jest
episode
to.
27 with multiple harmless Skibidi chilling inside the building. Then the door gets busted and the boost effect shatters the screen.
This is police. Ja, ten
The only
man
thing which is
taki,
missing here is the FBI open up
no
line.
FBI.
It's not the deepest reference of all, but I freaking love it. In the second place, we have the iconic handshake between Titan Cameraman and Titan Speakerman in episode 59. Moreover, this handshake was mirrored in episode 66 as well, this time with the red-shirted Speakerman and Plungerman dressed in black. This is the reference to the well-known Predator meme, where two guys give each other a strong buddy's handshake, where one of the guys in dressed in red.
You son of a bitch.
Haha, no.
And finally, in the long-awaited first place, we have the Will Smith slap reference. In episode 28, we see the black Skibidi toilet with the hat and mustaches that get slapped
Will
into the oblivion
Smitha?
by Titan
A
Speaker.
pamiętacie, rozdanie Oscaru chyba, czy co to tam było?
The 28th episode got released in May, while the whole Oscar slap incident happened in March, where Will Smith punished Chris Rock, who was supposed to give him an award, for the unserious attitude towards Will Smith's wife. I'm not really sure who this poor Skibidi is supposed to represent in this case, but I think Titan Speakerman simply avenged the Oscar Academy members that had to witness this whole mess 1 year ago. But it was a really good show for the audience, and as the cherry on top, here's the hilarious thing I noticed about Resident Evil 7. Yeah, I know it came out in 2017, but look, doesn't this doll's head in the
Serio? Resident Evil? Ej, niezłe. No powiem wam szczerze, że paru rzeczy jestem zaskoczony co do paru rzeczy. Dajcie znać, czy wy również, czego nie wiedzieliście, a co już wiedzieliście, jakie są odniesienia. Tyle.